Hey everyone, this is Ali Advekili. I'm an attorney with Foley and Lardner, and I'm also here with my colleague Shavi Khan, who's an IP partner in our Boston office. Welcome to Startup Advisors. We are going to be taking on a number of issues that come up on a regular basis with startups, and we hope to provide some information that may be insightful.
Great, Alida. Thanks for the introduction and pleasure to be on this webinar or video call with you. So we talked about safes before. What is a safe and why should startups actually use safes? And maybe what are circumstances where they shouldn't use safes?
Sure. So the SAFE, which is really short for a simple agreement for future equity, was a creation back in 2013 by Y Combinator. And at the time, Y Combinator was trying to think of a simpler process for financing for startups. The traditional route was you go and you sell preferred stock to an investor. That's going to require, a whole bunch of things, including amending your charter, getting probably 4 or 5 different types of different agreements in place, multiple pages, lengthy, can be time consuming, can be costly. What's a way to make this a lot simpler? And so what they did is they created this concept of a instrument that you're not buying stock. So the investors that use a safe to invest in a startup are not buying stock on day one. What they're getting is they're getting an agreement to buy equity in the future. And it's a simple agreement, so hence the acronym SAFE, simple agreement for future equity. So the investor invests their money in the company now on day one. When the company then goes and has what's called typically a qualified financing, which is they're raising money for purposes of building the company, maybe with some threshold or maybe not. But when they actually go out and sell stock to raise money, that's the next qualified financing. At that point in time, the investment that the person made with a safe, that amount of money will be converted into shares that is being sold at that next financing. And there's all sorts of terms and provisions you'll see in safes, but essentially a few of the things to keep an eye on is, obviously the investment amount. Is there some sort of a discount? Meaning, are they going to get a discount in the price that the future investors are going to pay in that next qualified financing? Or is there a valuation cap, meaning that you're going to be valued at a certain amount no matter what the ultimate valuation of the company is at that next round, which also means you might get a discount on your stock by investing via safe, and some of the reps and warranties. But essentially, it's a very simple 3-4 page agreement, makes it a lot less costly and a lot quicker to be able to put in place and get money in for an investment.
When should a company not use a safe?
That's a really good question. And I've seen even later stage companies that want to raise capital go out and use a safe as opposed to selling stock. I think in some cases that would be driven by the investor. In some cases, investors don't want to use a safe. And one of the reasons why is from the investor's perspective, the safe doesn't offer as much protection as, for example, in a traditional priced equity round where you're selling stock. You've got reps and warranties, you've got indemnification, you've got a whole bunch of additional provisions that can help protect the investor's investment if something were to go wrong. Whereas you typically don't have a lot of that in a safe. You might have reps and warranties, but you typically are not going to have the same level of reps and warranties, the same level of covenants. So that may be an instance where the investor driving the transaction might say, no, I'm only going to invest if it's via a priced equity round, and I need a stock purchase agreement. I need these additional provisions that are not typically in a safe.